This Valentine, Rotary Park and Love 99.5 FM present Love Affair featuring Ken Promise, Oforian Ponta, and many other surprise acts. Love Affair. Date is Friday, 14th February, 7 p.m. prompt at the all-new Rotary Park poolside. 80 cities single, 150 cities couple. Get your ticket now at the front desk of Love FM and Rotary Park. Love Affair.
All right, so time check is 7 minutes after 7 here on your superstation, Love 99.5 FM. Good morning, wherever you are. Thank you so much for keeping your dials and on Love 99.5 FM. It's a Saturday morning. We give thanks to the Lord of God Almighty for making it possible for us to live to see this day. And we are here to bring you the latest in the world of sports. We have a compilation of stories both on the international front and the local front. We have for you. We have interviews as well on the show here this morning. Question we're asking you here today, it's about the fact that what do you make, or whether you've been satisfied with the output of referees since the start of the Ghana Premier League. Already 2 sets of referees have been banned for poor officiating. We'll take a look at that. I think about 3 sets of referees, yes indeed, since the league started. And in the last week there's been lots of complaints coming from coaches, especially Coach Karim Zito of Dreams FC, and then also one coming in from Coach Kweku Danso of Bechem United. They had very, very harsh words for the referees. One of them is suggesting that the referees are being empowered, or they are being overpowered. I don't know whether it's true or not. We'll be trying to interrogate this to find out whether indeed the new rules has empowered the referees, that they are just taking decisions any way they want it, knowing that they are the final authority. We'll be taking a look at that. We shall be speaking to the National Instructor of the Referee Association of Ghana, Referee T.R.Y. Atifu, here on the show. On this particular subject, there are lots of things we shall be also taking a look at on the local scene, especially the Ghana Premier League. Issues from the camp of the various teams that are playing over the weekend here. In Kumasi today, Ken Faisal are playing again. They are the only club in the competition yet to win a game in this year's Ghana Premier League. We'll take a look at Ken Faisal and what is happening to the club, whether they have what it takes to survive. That is the Premiership. We'll take a look at that, and then some other issues surrounding the local league. Now, I had a communique from somewhere yesterday, and the Ghana Football Association saying that they were demanding 2,000 Ghana cedis from Straight Royal Blacks for inspection of their training facility. Of the Straight Royal Sports Stadium, which the club wants to use for the ongoing league. Now, what is happening is that the GFA says that if they come in for the first inspection, they bear the cost of the first inspection. If you don't meet the standards or the requirements, and the inspection team are supposed to come back, they have to pay 2,000 Ghana cedis. My question is, how much are these clubs earning for them to be dishing out 2,000 Ghana cedis just for inspection by FA officials at a place like Swedru? How far is Swedru from Accra? Well, we'll be interrogating this very more to find out what is really happening in there, because 2,000 Ghana cedis for me just for inspection of a facility, Division 1 club, how much are they even earning as way of sponsorship for the league? We'll be taking a look at that as well. Kotoko House of Folk in London is now coming on. Earlier yesterday we heard reports that that match was going to be cancelled for the two teams to play here at the Baba Sports Stadium to commemorate the independence anniversary of Ghana. But then the latest information coming in late yesterday night was that the Minister for Youth and Sports has okayed that game. The GFA has also given the green light, and so the match will be coming on at the Barnet Stadium in London on the 6th of March. Ghana and the UK is going to be Kotoko coming up against Accra Hearts of Folk. We'll be taking a look at that. We shall be speaking to the organisers of this particular game. And so we've got lots of issues to be discussing here. Felix Anan and Kwame Ba, should it be an issue of discussion at all? To the extent that the coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko has had to come out to come and speak on this particular subject, saying that, look, Felix Anan remains the number one goalkeeper for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, but currently they will prefer to use Kwame Ba because he's also on form. Why should this be an issue? Because I chance on discussions here and there about this issue, and it's the coach's decision, you know. It's indeed true that in some instances or in some elsewhere, I mean, there's always a number one goalkeeper, and so in modern times, the coaches or the managers will allow the number two to be used for the less prestigious competitions. But in this case, Coach Masokredo is the man in charge, and he has good reasons why he feels that Kwame Ba should be his number one for now. I think that Kotoko fans should just bear with him, or the lovers of Felix Anan should just bear with the coach, and let's see what he does onward. But he's saying that for now, Kwame Ba will be his number one. We've got lots of issues to be discussing here on the show here this morning. So as I said, give me your thoughts. What do you make of officiating in the Ghana Premier League so far? Are you satisfied with what you've seen? If you're supposed to give a percentage mark, what percentage will you give the referees up at this point in the competition? But don't forget that on the 14th of February, it's happening live at the Ratri Park. We are having a free Ponsa and Kim Promise on a Val's Day. It's going to be a love affair. Yes, the love affair on Val's Day, 14th of February. Haven't you heard of Friend Ponsa singing a long while live? And have you ever encountered Ken Promise live as well? No, bring your loved ones. It's just 80 cedis for single, 150 per couple. You've got, some very nice wine, both red, white. I mean, any sort of wine you want, you have it. And then also there are some, finger foods in there that we are going to enjoy with our lovers. So let's make a date. It's 80 cities and 150. Calvin. Okay, if you go, you go for free, so you understand.
Okay. But I can still buy for some friends to join.
You buy?
Yeah, for some friends to join.
Oh, 80 for a friend, eh? Yeah. How many friends would you buy for?
Oh, like 2 or 3. Yes, Akresi will join, and then Kwame will join too.
Okay.
So like 2.
My next two will not join.
The next 2. Hopefully, you know at his end.
Oh, yeah, sure. Something will happen. Okay. All right, so we are
inviting buy from Akon.
Our let's stay there and enjoy his time.
So bring your loved ones, right? It's going to be a love affair at the Ratri Park on the 14th of February here in Kumasi. It's a love affair with Ofrian Ponsa and Can Promise. It's going to be a show of a lifetime. Don't forget to be there. right, so let me say happy birthday to you, Mrs. Evelyn Boache. You are an assistant physician at the dental unit at Tosu Agogo Hospital. This coming from your husband, Nanabafo, aka Wabi Stone, and the children. Today happens to be your birthday, Mrs. Evelyn Boache, assistant physician, dental unit at Tosu Agogo Hospital. Wish you God's blessings. And if you listen to the song on the background, Mrs. Evelyn Boache is for you. And I hope that your husband is bringing you for that Valentine's Day special on the 14th of February at the Ratri Park. All right, so let's bring you a compilation of stories that we have for you on the foreign front. When we come back, we shall be discussing the issues that will be making news on the foreign front. When we come back as well after that, there is also a compilation of local stories as well, all coming to you here on the show. Don't forget to send us your voice notes on 0554 031192. 0554 031192. The question we're asking is whether you are satisfied with what do you make of the performance of the referees since the start of the Ghana Premier League? Whether you are satisfied with their performance, give us your percentage mark so far of the performance of the referees.
Former Manchester United winger Lucia believes new signing Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba can forge a successful midfield partnership for Manchester United.
I think they'd be a good partnership. I think you'd have to play someone with them that could do the defensive bit, because we know Pogba's a bit short when it comes to defensive duties. But I also think he's that good going forward in creating goals and scoring goals that I think you can sort of allow him for that and make allowances. Fernandes, I think another one is a forward-thinking, natural forward-thinking midfielder. So if you could sit someone in there, maybe a Fred or a Matic, that can sweep up and look after them and make sure that they're organised and they know where they are going forward, I think they can cause all sorts of problems, and between them it could be just what United need. We've been really disappointed in no Pogba this season. I think they've really missed him. I think his charisma on the pitch is, what he brings, his creativity to the game, and I think there's a level of arrogance and ability that brings everyone up to Paul Pogba's level, and I think they've missed him this season.
Everton manager Carlo Ancelotti does not want Liverpool to win the Premier League title at the Goodison Park.
The talk is that Liverpool is not going to win. If Liverpool is going to win the Premier League, I would not in Goodison Park. There are a lot of stadiums. Why in Goodison Park? No.
West Ham United manager David Moyes believes Liverpool are the team everyone wants to beat in the same way as when Manchester United dominated domestically.
Whoever the best teams are, someone's out there trying to plot to beat them. All the managers are thinking what system can I beat them with, what players can I beat them with. You only need to look at Manchester City's success in recent seasons has been exceptional. But Liverpool have gone out to find ways of getting better players, a better team to beat them. People are now out to try and beat Liverpool. That's what happens in football. Happened quite a lot in my time at Manchester United. Everyone was out to try and beat Manchester United, and teams improved. I think that's the way football goes. So we'll go to both the games knowing that it's not an easy task, but we'll try everything we can to get a result.
Now to the Citizens, and Pep Guardiola has urged Lionel Messi to finish his career at Barcelona amid speculation he could leave the new camp for the Citizens.
Leo Messi, any chances that he might come to Manchester City, or what the situation is?
Play from Barcelona, he will stay there. That is my wish. Stay in Barcelona. So I'm not going to talk about the players for the other club.
But as someone knows him well, I'm not going to ask you about signing him. I'm going to ask you whether you think he might play for another European side ever, or whether that's just Barcelona.
I think he's going to finish his career there.
Guardiola says Raheem Sterling could face weeks on the sidelines after suffering a hamstring injury, making him a doubt for the UEFA Champions League clash with Real Madrid.
It's hamstring injury, and we will see. Of course, it takes weeks, but we will see if, again, before Leicester, Madrid, and the rest of the games. I don't know right now.
How much of a problem is it being without Raheem?
It's a problem. But it's a problem when we were without Gundo 6 months the first year, and Laporte this season 4 or 5 months with Laporte, so it's always a problem, but it's what it is. So during the season it's happened, this kind of things, unfortunately, especially for the players.
English referee Mike Dean speaks to the Premier League about his love of refereeing and how he has no plans to hang up the whistle just yet.
So 500, what's next? You're laughing and joking, nothing's changed. No, you've got to enjoy yourself. I love the job. I mean, that kind of comes out of the way I referee the game of football as well. I mean, I do enjoy the job. I mean, I can think of worse things to do for a living. It's like any sportsman, when you're coming through at a younger level, you think you're a golfer or a cricketer, I need to do this as a job. It's not really a job, it's a hobby, but you're getting paid for doing your hobby. It's fantastic, isn't it? Absolutely perfect. Mine, Dave, it's been an absolute pleasure. Love your part.
Now to Spain, and Diego Costa's Wallace Santiago Arias trained with the rest of the teammates in Atletico Madrid session at the Estadio Wanda Metropolitano on Friday. Los Rojiblancos will face Granada on Saturday at 21 hours Central European time on home soil, with a former Chelsea striker aiming for a return to action in the Champions League game against Liverpool. Staying in Spain, the possibility of a Bucks Derby Copa del Rey final remains intact after Real Sociedad were drawn against Mirandes, while Athletic Club would have to face Granada. The quarter-final stage of the competition saw shocks in all 4 matches as holders Valencia were knocked out by Granada on Tuesday, before Mirandes caused another upset by beating Villarreal 1 day later. Then on Thursday, La Real went away to Real Madrid and emerged as 4-3 victors, while Barcelona lost to a stoppage-time winner from Inaki Williams at the summer match to Atletico Bilbao. The first legs will take place on the February 12th and 13th, before the second legs will play 3 weeks later on the 4th and 5th of March. Now to boxing, and Anthony Joshua's next fight is likely to be at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, according to promoter Eddie Hearn. The British heavyweight 30 who defeated Andy Ruiz Jr. in Saudi Arabia in December is expected to take on Bulgarian Kubrat Pulev in June. And told Sky Sports we had offers in from the Far East and a lot more.
We're very close. Very close. I had a meeting with AJ last night. We've had offers in from Far East, Middle East, Africa, America, Turkey, and he's made it very clear to me, I want to come home. You know, I want to box in London next. Now, I've been to Madison Square Garden, I've been to Saudi Arabia. Bring me home. Forget the other offers. Bring me home. And he wants to fight in London in June. We're on the verge of making that happen now. Spurs is the front runner. And that's, you know, what he's asked me to do, and we'll be delivering in that for him. In fact, the other heavyweights right now that we're working on, looks like Usyk against Chisora is almost there. It's going to take place a few weeks later than anticipated. Looks like terms are agreed for Dillian White against Povetkin. Got to find a home for that. So UK fight fans, over this summer, you're going to get Joshua against Pulev, Usyk against Chisora, White against Povetkin. Get ready for the announcements. Get your tickets ready. Get it sorted. It's a big summer of boxing coming for UK fight fans, led by, of course, the biggest star in the sport, finally returning home to London in June.
Great Britain trails Slovakia 2-0 in their Fed Cup qualifier after battling Harriet Dart lost in 3 sets to Victoria Kuzmova. Dart saved 5 match points in the final set, but eventually lost 6-7, 6-3, 7-5 in 2 hours and 55 minutes. Earlier, Heather Watson was beaten 6-2, 6-3 by world number 199 Anna Karolina Shmedlova on clay in Bratislava.
Minutes after 7, Kelvin, it's going to be a show, eh?
Oh yeah, it's
with this particular song, you listen to the guitar at the back, I mean,
everything, you know, the synchrony, you know, the synchrony between the instruments and the voice definitely sets a perfect time, especially when it's going to be live, and then you have.
I can't wait for Friday. I can't wait for Friday. Hey, baby. Oh yes, Friday night. Oh, that's a crap.
This Valentine, Ratri Park and Love 99.5 FM present Love Affair, featuring Ken Promise, Euphoria Ponton, and many other surprise acts.
All right, Yuma, will you be there?
Yeah.
Don't come alone, please. You come with your partner, right?
It's unfortunate, but we will see what happens. I'll come with my colleagues.
Come with a friend.
Even that day too, it will be something at the office, so we are coming.
Oh, okay. Why? Are you with Absa?
Yeah, we are coming.
Okay.
We are coming live.
All right. Okay, quickly, let's get into the foreign front. Let's see. But I think it's going to be a nice experience to have Lionel Messi join the English Premiership. Don't you think so?
I think so, because it's about time. Most of us we are crying for a switch in camps for Lionel Messi. Some of us we have tagged him one-way champion or Camp Nou Mafia. He needs to change an environment. If it's not going,
what will he really make of the footballer Lionel Messi if he decides not to switch?
Well, it's its own decision. It's personal. I mean, to change or not to change, it depends on what you the player are expecting. It depends on what you also want from yourself. Maybe he feels it's not challenging enough. Maybe it's not daring enough. Maybe the league is not attractive enough. Moreover, he's won the Ballon d'Or in Spain, and he doesn't see the likelihood of coming to England to pay these taxes, to have these media and paparazzi all around you. Yeah. Your every move, every second, every minute is being criticized and all that. Moreover, he's 33 plus. The intensity of the Premier League, the speed, the kick and run, everything around it, he might not feel all that comfortable. I'm somewhere around last 2 seasons or so, I heard him say he might move to Italy or will go back to his hometown in Argentina. So
Italy,
yeah.
Will it be the right destination, Calvin? We need him in the Premiership. Let's feel Lionel Messi in the APL. Let's see how it will go.
Well, I think it's been.
You heard Pep Guardiola how he dodged the question. He said he would rather prefer him to stay at Barcelona and finish his career.
Yeah, certainly, and he would just want to stay away from trouble, especially with Barcelona, where it is being dubbed as he would definitely make a return to coach them. Looking at the current crisis in Barcelona, you definitely want to have a manager who really settled everything after Frank Rijkaard had brought back Barcelona into the limelight again. But there are a number of things that I think that Barcelona haven't done right. The current fire between Lionel Messi and then Eric Abidal, as well as some other members of Barcelona, it's all because of their poor transfer policy and transfer plan. The players that they've brought in, you look critically at Barcelona, and for 5 seasons now, they haven't won a major glory in Europe. It's just been the domestic football. Real Madrid have been dominant, yes, and Liverpool won last season. You look at the team, and without Lionel Messi, they are in total shambles. That fulcrum, that chemistry that was built between Busquets, Iniesta, Xavi, Lionel Messi, and at times when the likes of Thierry Henry, Daniel, Ludovic Giuli, Samuel Eto'o, they even left, and then they brought in a number of very good additions to Pedro Rodriguez and all the others. All these players are leaving, or probably they've left. The only members who can be seen in the team now are Gerard Piqué and Sergio Busquets. And you ask yourself, is Busquets playing at that top level where we expected him to be? Even if he's doing that,
no, Barcelona, he's not the Busquets that we knew. I mean, some 5 seasons ago.
And even if he's doing at least half of that, you ask yourself, the players who are supposed to complement his efforts, are they at that level to complement the efforts? No. When you look at Barcelona's attack, in the absence of Lionel Messi and probably Luis Suarez, who gets in the goals? They bought Ousmane Dembele for over 90 million pounds. Now look at him. He's been on the sidelines. He has struggled to get consistent gains for them, and they needed results. And it's just been Messi. And we all know age is catching up with him, and injuries almost every now and then. Unlike before, where he could go like a full season, go play Copa America and come back without a scratch. And there has been several complaints to get the right additions to support him, and it's been zero. And for me, I think at this point it gets him frustrated every now and then. And for Abidal to come out to make some of these comments, it's a bit disturbing. And you ask yourself, even as Eric Abidal, as transfer, you look at your transfer policy and the number of players, the sort of players you are bringing in, which are not yielding results or complementing the efforts of Lionel Messi.
But does that also mean that if he sees something wrong or he sees something he can't complain about or he can't talk about?
Then I think it should be.
They're also making Lionel Messi look like a tingot too much.
When it gets to a point where he has been overly reliant for quite a number of years, or quite about 2-3 seasons, he needs to speak out. And for me, any player, why is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang failing to sign Arsenal's contract? Because he feels that he's being overburdened. Apart from him, who is the Arsenal's most consistent scorer?
He's living in the summer.
Yes, and that is the reason why.
If I were him, I will leave.
Yes. And you ask yourself the reason why Arsenal players were leaving almost every now and then. Thierry Henry left because he felt that come on, he's played all,
and they all live and go and win trophies.
Yes.
Look at the departure of Samuel Nasri, Emmanuel Adebayo, Bakary Sagna, Clichy. Look,
Ashley Cole,
they won trophies with the other clubs that they left.
And you look at
Percy,
and you look at Lionel Messi and at the level where he is, and to go 5 seasons without any European glory, it clearly becomes a bit of a worry. And now he wants international glory, and that can only come when he is able to save his energy during the season, and after the season he can play competitively.
So back to my question:
for Argentina,
which will be an ideal destination after Spain?
I think England will be better. Spain, he will just go and break up his bones there.
Italy.
Yeah. I think he will just go and break up his bones there. I'm not saying he cannot play. He can definitely thrive. But you look at England. I think England suits his game more with that pace, with that dribbling. In Italy, it's more technical, and even
in Italy, I think that the most flamboyant, the most prestigious you will want to associate yourself with, like a Lionel Messi, will be Juve.
Yeah.
And you have Cristiano Ronaldo in there. So, and I don't see the two of them, playing
together
in the same team.
They are not going to play.
It's definitely not going to happen.
No. So I think you should maybe AC Milan and Inter Milan, they are not at that level where Lionel Messi would want to be. You look at them, Conte bringing in Ashley Young, and
but with all this happening,
I think
could be a possibility.
There could be a possibility, a high possibility for him to join Pep Guardiola at Man City. That is, if Guardiola decides not to leave Manchester City at the end of the season. There are also people, or do I say assumptions, being raised as the reason why Guardiola said that Messi should stay at Barcelona. It is being rumored that he would want to go back to Barcelona after the season, or in about 1.5 seasons. That is after this season, and then he plays another season for Manchester City trying to win the UEFA Champions League. He would want to go back to his mother club, his parent club, to get the very best for them after all their disappointment. And for me, I think it would be a right in the step direction for Lionel Messi to take up another challenge. Come to England. Manchester City have won the league, but they won the Champions League, which Messi would also want to win with a different club and at least cement his name in there. Ronaldo has done it. A number of players have done it. United and Real Madrid. And I think Lionel Messi would want to do that too. England would be best. And looking at Manchester City's progression and then their transfer plan and policy, when you come, the likes of Aguero will just complement your efforts, and Kevin De Bruyne. Come on, Della. I think it will be very good.
We'll love to see Lionel Messi in the English Premiership. So
like the way Arsenal will cry.
I don't want to talk too much about them, because the hierarchy of the club has made it a point that they want the club to be non-attractive, and that is how it is now. And so you will get players, as I was telling you the last time, that the likes of Saka, the likes of Martinelli, they will come, they will grow, and they will leave to maybe a Barcelona or a Juventus, because that is where they can win laurels. Because honestly now, Arsenal is no longer attractive. And so if Aubameyang should stay in Arsenal, I'll be asking myself, what is the motivation? Why would you have to stay?
You should leave.
For what?
You should leave.
No, I mean, it doesn't make sense for him to stay. It's 35 minutes after 7. And still, Saturday is kickoff here on your super station, Love 99.5 FM. Okay, so I don't know. But then you can also send us your voice notes and WhatsApp messages on 0554 031192. I was asking what will be your percentage mark for the performance of referees so far in the Ghana Premier League. And which league do you think will be a better destination for Lionel Messi if indeed he should leave Spain? All right, Ima.
Yeah, lots of action happening this week for me. As I said, Lionel Messi, I don't think he will leave. Probably, as of now, his contract gives him it's more of a loyalty contract, or a loyalty free will contract.
If he wants other challenges will make him.
I mean, variety is the spice of life. I mean, he shouldn't be stuck to Spain and all that. He should try somewhere else.
All right.
At least for now, we know he won't go to China because we know what's happening there. So clearly, he will stay in Europe. But there are big matches coming up, Dela. I don't know whether we can look through this. In Italy, it will be the biggest on Sunday, where AC Milan will come up against Inter Milan. It's rather unfortunate that gone are the days where we used to have European legends and Brazilian greats in these matches. But their recent forms in their recent form in the last 10 years have not given this match they needed attention, because gone are the days where we used to have Ronaldinho, we used to have Serginho, Cafu, we used to have Pirlo, Maldini, we used to have Samuel Eto'o, Sule Muntari, Kevin Prince Boateng, Mark Van Bommel. All these
mentioned two great friends of Coach.
Yes, all these people, Diego Milito, Walter Samuel, Lucio, all these people, these big guns used to play in the Milan derby, but as at now, we cannot see much of it. So going into the game, the recent resurgence of AC Milan, I mean, has sparked a lot of things by the courtesy of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I mean, since his addition in January, everything it's going on perfectly for them. He has inspired the team. They have won their last in their last 4 games. They've won 3 and drawn 1. But Inter Milan, on the other half, they've had a rough patch in their last 4 games in the Serie A. They've drawn 3, they've won 1. So clearly, it is not looking that good for Inter Milan. And this is the time where AC Milan would like to make a name for themselves. They would like to challenge for a spot in Europe, whereas Inter Milan is also looking to keep at pace with Juventus. So it will be everything to play for, especially when when they are arch rivals. AC Milan will look to spoil the party for Inter Milan, will look to deflate them so that they don't get close to Juventus, whereas Inter Milan will also look to inflate pain on AC Milan so that they stay below the top 4 or the top 5 belt, and then they can chase in. So going into the game, I expect it to be very, very close. Inter Milan, for the team news, Inter Milan will be missing out on their number 1 keeper Handanovic, and also Lautaro Martinez will still be serving a ban because he received a red card against Lecce. So Alexis Sanchez will come in. He will play behind Romelu Lukaku. In the middle, Antonio Conte did some purchases in January. I don't think well for him, for his style and for the way he wants to play and his system. It's good for him. He brought in Ashley Young, Victor Moses, and then Christian Eriksen. So I expect these 3 guys to feature. But on the other side, in the middle, we are going to have Barella and then Brozovic behind Christian Eriksen. And at the back, you are going to have Skriniar, you are going to have Stefan de Vrij, you are going to have Diego Godin at the back. So clearly, it's going to be Conte's system against Stefano Pioli's witty wit. More often, he plays the 4-4-2 or the 4-3-3. Zlatan Ibrahimovic will be the man up front. I'm going to have Rafael Leao on the wings. I'm going to have Hakan Çalhanoğlu, and then in the middle you have the African brothers in there, Ismail Benacer and then Frank Kessie. At the back you are going to have Romagnoli, and then Simon Kjaer. So clearly it's going to be a tight game, and then I'll move on to Germany where
who wins? Inter
will win 2-1. Okay. Close game.
All right, but yesterday you know that Cristiano Ronaldo's girlfriend bought him a present, a car present. That's a G-Wagon. And so if you want to have a look at that car, go on our Facebook page. It's there, Love 995. Go and have a look at the car that Cristiano Ronaldo's girlfriend bought for her.
Wow.
And I was saying that, is it not coming from his own pocket? Or maybe the girl is also.
No, but I think it's she's a supermodel, and in as much as even if it's coming from Ronaldo's pocket, I think the thought to save and even spend as much as that to get that present for
it's wonderful.
Ronaldo.
It was a surprise present. It's to see Ronaldo. He was surprised himself that the girl could gift her such a nice car. But why is he still not married to her?
Like he'll be in the best position.
Okay. Anyway, so go on Facebook page on 995 and have a look at the car. A very nice G-Wagon, black in color, in there that he presented to her husband. Okay, so quick one.
Yeah, and then in Germany it will be a top 2 clash. Bayern Munich will be up against Leipzig. There's everything to play for, especially when Bayern Munich are now on top of the table. RB Leipzig was on top, but in their last 3 matches, they are winless in their last 3 matches, so they failed to capitalize on that. Bayern Munich, after the winter break, have been in scintillating form. They've won 6 matches on the bounce. There will be everything to play for. Again, some of us, we are asking the question between Timo Werner and then Robert Lewandowski. Clearly, we know Robert Lewandowski is on top of his game. He's a top striker, a finisher, a poacher, a deadly man inside the box and all that. But Timo Werner, on the other hand, is also doing well. He has 20 goals, whereas Robert Lewandowski have 23 goals in the Bundesliga. So it will be a clash of the big strikers in Germany. And then at the dugout, Coach Nagelsmann is known as the young sensation coming up in the new school of coaching, whereas Hans Flick is the old and experienced calmed man. So going into the game, it will also offer them a preamble as to how they will perform in the Champions League, because in a week or two, the Champions League is around the corner. RB Leipzig will be up against Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur was in the same group with Bayern Munich, so it will give them another chance for them to up their game and see what happens. But clearly, Bayern Munich will come up on top. But it will always going to be about goals. Dela.
Okay, so where is Arsenal now? Saudi Arabia or United Arab Emirates?
Yeah, United Arab Emirates. Yeah,
okay, they are conditioning them.
Yeah, conditioning.
They need a lot of conditioning.
You
can't win 6 matches out of 25.
And I think they started work.
You don't need conditioning.
They were given that liberty to have, I think, 1-2 days with some tourism, but they started active work yesterday. You could see some players were tired and out of. They are coming from the winter into a very hot weather. So it's been tough for them. But you could see players like Torreira having it cool because he's been into that sort of expansion. But I think it's very positive for Arsenal because Arteta has made it clear that Arsenal could not have the very best of pre-seasons, and the players are almost tired
have the best of pre-seasons.
Yeah, and
so he's questioning the pre-season of Unai Emery.
And it's because you look at Arsenal's matches, and after 70 minutes or after 75 minutes, it looks like Arsenal is off, and then the players find it very difficult.
Concede goals. Look at the Chelsea one, for instance.
And fatigue always brings about loss of concentration, and clearly you can definitely see that seems to be the woe of Arsenal. And it's not just Arsenal. You look at Liverpool, and they've also made that trip to go and enjoy. In as much as they're enjoying 22 points away from second place Manchester City, they still want the very best, and then they also do that campaign. But I think it's more important for Arsenal. Well, we are likely to see a number of the teams, but looking at this break doesn't mean the Premier League is not on. There are games coming up today. Everton against Crystal Palace, very tough game, and then Carlo Ancelotti would want the very best. And from this game at Everton, topsy-turvy. He wins today, he draws, he has a loss, and I don't think it hasn't been so positive for him. But on the other hand, Crystal Palace manager Roy Hodgson would also want to keep his position, and we should just confirm that he's given that liberty to Black Stars coach Sika O'Connor to be at the training grounds and observe. That is Jeffrey Schlupp and then Jordan Ayew. That is Ghana's players. Yes, we already know that he was one who studied with Herbert Addo in the 1970s, so he has that relationship with Ghana. Crystal Palace. Roy Hodgson.
So Sika O'Connor is still in London.
Yeah, he's still in London.
He's not going to Spain.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to watch the game today and then have a very good assessment.
Who's doing the monitoring for our Ghana League here?
Who is doing the monitoring? I think he has an assistant, David Duncan. And I'm sure he has scouts too.
Sure. Because our guys are doing well.
And the technical director too is still around monitoring the Ghana. Francis Okiake. So Crystal Palace, very tough game for them, but certainly they will want the very best of results. And I think that Jordan Ayew, in as much as he's been on a season high since playing in the Premier League, I think this is a very great opportunity for him to at least pick up his confidence again. He's gone a number of matches without goals, and for me, if you have your top striker not getting you the goals that you need, it's always a bit difficult. But trust you me, this is going to be a tough game, but I expect Everton at the Goodison to win. Carlo Ancelotti was just not focused on this game, but focused on that Liverpool game where he feels that he should beat Liverpool to prevent them from lifting the cap at the Goodison. But the last game that they played, they beat Watford by 3-2, and I think it was a very good result. Crystal Palace, on the other hand, were beaten by Sheffield United, and they are in Wolves and would want to have this game. Yes, a good result for them would lift them up above Everton, who have 33 points, but a minus of 6 goals. So they would also come with a minus of 6 goals, but better goals for different, and that is the game. But there is another game coming up. Brighton and Watford will play, but tomorrow there is also Manchester City. Yes, Manchester City would play their game tomorrow in there, and it's it's going to be a very tough one for Pep Guardiola. Raheem Sterling is off, so you ask yourself who is going to get the goals in there for Manchester City on the left hand side. Sergio Aguero has been given a number of times to rest, and he's come on to really help anytime they find themselves in difficulty. But West Ham United haven't looked so good in the last couple of games, and with their positioning just on the 18th rank of the ladder, they would want to have a positive result. And looking at how vulnerable City have become, I think this would be a very good point for David Moyes and his men to travel to the Etihad and at least come back with a point.
The class of Liverpool has been on measure. Sorry, the class of Liverpool has been on measure.
It's been on a high. It's been on a high, and it's top level
above the rest of
top level football. Top level, absolutely top level football. And you ask yourself, why are they consistently doing that even when their integral members, some of them, get injured? Joel Matip, who was their centre back, arguably their best centre back when he was playing in the Premier League and the Champions League, got injured, and he's been missing from most parts of the season. Fabinho for a whole month was off, and Liverpool are still playing. We saw Joe Gomez coming in a number of times. He's got it in there. Alisson Becker got injured. They brought in Adrian, and how critical Sadio Mane has been for them in his absence. A number of players have also been there. Mohamed Salah benched for a couple of times, and it looks like a whole system, a whole project that started 4 years ago is reaping results for them, and that clearly tells you the vision of a manager like Jurgen Klopp. And even with his under-23s and how they played against that is Shrewsbury Town the last time, it clearly gives you an indication of how a team or a club has been set up, and then the progression for them. I don't think it should be any worry for Pep Guardiola. All he has to set his sights on is the UEFA Champions League. But you ask yourself, is that going to come easy against Real Madrid?
It's not going to come easy, but I don't see how fearsome Real Madrid is anyway.
Well, they wouldn't look.
Yes, they are always contenders when it comes to the Champions League. Yes, but they are not above City. For me, player to player that much, they might have experience.
With Hazard and Bale returning around that time.
Hazard and Hazard will be returning around that time, so it gives them.
It will be tasty.
Maybe if City should lose Sterling, because I mean Pep Guardiola is not too sure whether he's going to make it or not. If they should lose Sterling, but you see,
City can take advantage. Real Madrid has a very poor defense. They have a very poor defense, trust you me, and it was evidently clear in the absence of Ferland Mendy. Marcelo seems to be a lot vulnerable in there, and when you have Manchester City with Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, and Sergio Aguero,
and so if he sprints too much forward, difficult for him.
They are not even going to play him. They are going to play Ferland Mendy, and it's clearly a difficulty for Real Madrid. And in the absence of Benzema, who has been their top scorer this season, the goals have been split in between the other players, and it's not as impressive as you would see. Yes, in the seasons where Ronaldo will score about 20, Benzema will come in with 15. You have other players coming from the bench. Luka Jovic has just been a pinch of salt, just like Alexander Lacazette has been at Arsenal. Yes, for me, I think he hasn't really done his bit for them. But the other games also coming up: Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid against Granada, Valladolid, Villarreal, Getafe, Valencia, and in Germany, I think Iman has done justice to that. Just Bayer Leverkusen against Borussia Dortmund. But I think sight will be on that game, this game too, because Dortmund win, and then they would have to make sure that pray that Bayern Munich and then Leipzig draw their game. Fiorentina, Atalanta, Torino, Sampdoria, and then Hellas Verona, Juventus will play in there. Marseille against Toulouse, and then we expect that the Monaco will also have a very good result against Amiens, and an Olympic Nice against Nice. So these are some of the games coming up in the big European leagues. But in the Premier League, just as we said, Manchester City against West Ham tomorrow, Crystal Palace.
City West Ham tomorrow.
Yes, at 4:30. Yes, Crystal Palace, Everton today. Yeah. Okay. At 12:30.
All right, it's 10 minutes to 8. Still kick off here on Love 99.5 FM. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll be doing more on the local front. We have scheduled some interviews that we shall be conducting. One with the national instructor of the Ghana Referees Association of Ghana, TRY Atifu. We speak to him. We hear from the organizers of the Haas Kotoko game that is happening in the UK on the 6th of March. Stay tuned. But don't forget, on the 14th of February, 14th of February, that's the coming Friday, is the Love Valentine's Love Affair. That's how we term it, the Love Affair, with Cape Promise and Oforiampon. So happening live at the Rattree Park.
This Valentine, Ratri Park and Love 99.5 FM present Love Affair featuring Ken Promise, Oforian Ponta, and many other surprise acts. Love Affair. Date is Friday, 14th February, 7 p.m. prompt at the all-new Ratri Park poolside. 80 cities single, 150 cities couple. Get your ticket now at the front desk of Love FM and Ratri Park. Love Affair.
Why wanna come destroy my life? Every day is fighting the forcing, every day is forcing the fighting, every day is fighting the forcing, every day is forcing the fighting. Them your gun, fly away. Them your gun, run away. Them your gun, fly away. Them your gun, come on, why wanna come destroy my life? Come on, why wanna come destroy my life? Chant to them, chant to them. We're not mistaken. I feel it, bro.
Alright, so it's happening live at the Ratri Park on the 14th of February. That's Val's Day Love Affair with King Promise and Oforian Ponsa. It promises to be a day of love. And so come with your loved one. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy the Val's Day together. It's a Friday evening, and so we got to enjoy ourselves because the Saturday is going to be a weekend. But let me say good morning to you, Joe Debra of Happy FM. You say that you are listening to us live in Accra. Joe Debra of Happy FM, thank you very much for listening. Now it's time for us to zoom straight into the local segment. We are going to do more on the Ghana Premier League. As I told you, we shall be speaking to the national instructor of the Referees Association of Ghana, and that is TRI Atifu. Coach Karim Zito of Dreams FC has been penalized. In fact, he's been given a one match suspension as well as a fine of 5,000 Ghana cedis for some from his conduct, especially on his pronouncement after their last league game. And then also the coach of Bechim United, Coach Kwaku Danso, has also come out, and he has also said he's made some damning statements about the referees, saying that they are being empowered too much, and so they are taking decisions unilaterally, and he feels that it is not the right way to go. We shall be playing back the voice of Coach that is Karim Zito, and then that one of that is Coach Kwaku Danso, and then we try and make a meaning of what they are saying, whether they are sore losers or whether indeed they have issues with the referee. For Coach Kwaku Danso, for instance, I mean, his main bone of contention was the fact that they showed 5 minutes of time added on, and they ended up playing about 15 minutes. But I think that we all have to know that the time added on that they show on that during from the fourth referee, it is just the minimum time that he can play. And so if they are playing time added on, and your players resort to delaying tactics, and they delay for 8 minutes, for instance, and the coach stops his watch all these times, you should know that definitely the match will travel that distance. And so the time shown by the fourth referee is always the minimum time. We want to take a listen quickly to that is Coach Kwaku Danso, and then we'll come in here and listen to Coach Karim Zito as well. Then we make a meaning of what these two gentlemen want to say, really. But as I said, the text line is still activated 0554 031192. 0554-031192. Send us your voice notes in there. We'll play it all back for you here. All right. So I have a message here from Big Joe of Big Joe's Shoes near Kwadaso on your market. You said that wishing Barcelona and Kotoko all the best in this weekend's games, respectively. But I think Coach Maxwell Konedo must treat Felix Annan well since he forced him to sign the new contract. Okay. So this you say hi to Mami Soldier of Kwadaso, Dr. Sharp of Embossed Herbal Mixture. Mr. Kwame Inkum of Christ Apostolic University College, and Bra Otu of Baumia Fan Club at Kwadaso. All right, you can also send us your messages 0244 1515 0554 031192.
The referees now they think that they have been empowered by the FA. Okay, FA Libabano, FA Libabano. It is the things that they are untouchable. It's not there. You should rather empower the match commissioners more. I referee, also see that the catcher and content was trying to report. Because the thing is that after pre-match with the match commissioner, was part me in Ireland, they had the open warrior. Official M1 Ghana soccer. If you have to media, they must revisit that empowerment. I empower referees. They should look at it again because it's not going to help Ghana soccer. The referees now they think that they have been empowered by the FA. Okay, FA Libabano, FA Libabano. It is the things that they are untouchable. It's not there. You should rather empower the match commissioners more. I referee, also see that the catcher and content was trying to report. Because the thing is that after pre-match with the match commissioner, was part me in Ireland, they had the open warrior. Official M1 Ghana soccer. If you have to media, they must revisit that empowerment. I empower referees. They should look at it again because it's not going to help Ghana soccer.
All right, we seem to be having some problems with our voice inserts this morning, but we are trying to get the we are trying to get the other voice notes in there of Coach Kwaku Down. So he said a lot of things. We are trying to see whether we can get the voices for you here. Stay tuned on Love 99.5 FM program. It's kickoff. You can send us your messages 0554 031192. 0554031192, and that's your thoughts on what we're discussing on the show here this morning.
I wanna come destroy my life. I wanna come destroy my life. Chant to them, we're not mistaken. I feel like
All right, so let's go to some disciplinary actions that has been taken against some referees in here. The GFA's referees committee sanctioned referee Thomas Alibo and assistant referee John Nyavo following a complaint by Liberty Professionals in respect to the Ghana Premier League match against Ebusua Dwarfs in Cape Coast. Liberty Professionals' complaint relates to general refereeing standards in the match and specifically what they believe was a denied clean goal in the 62nd minute of that match. Referee Alibo and assistant to Nyavo were both given the opportunity to review the decision decision with the committee and agreed that they made a mistake in not awarding a goal, largely to poor officiating, poor positioning by both. Now, the referees committee therefore recommends that referee Thomas Alibo and assistant referee John Nyavo, on whose watch the incident happened, should be handed a two-match suspension each from the day of the decision. The length of the ban takes into consideration the fact that it was largely an issue of poor positioning and also because they are both first-timers. But meanwhile, the referees committee has also commended referee Emmanuel Eshon for his performance in the Ghana Premier League match, the sixth match between Kotoko and House of Folk. All right, let me go on the lines. Let me speak to the National Instructor of the Referees Association of Ghana, Referee T.R.Y. Atifu. He has joined us on the line this morning all the way from Takrady in the Western region. Mr. Atifu, good morning to you and thanks so much for joining us. I guess you are doing well, sir.
Yeah, good morning, and I'm doing good.
Okay, all right, sir. Mr. Atifu, we called you here this morning because of some complaints coming from some match officials, especially in the last week, about the conduct of referees or the level of officiating put up by the referees in these two matches. I'm referring to Coach Karim Zito of Dreams FC as well as Coach Kweku Danso of Bechem United. Since the league started, I think that we've got about 2 or 3, if I'm not wrong, sets of referees who have been punished for one way or the other, not conforming with what the regulations say. First of all, what would be your assessment so far after week 7 of the performance of your guys, if I should put it that way, or your men?
I would say I've not been able to watch all the 72 games.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, from week 1 to 8. I have not been able to watch, but feedbacks that I get and those that I have watched, I think there is a vast improvement from the previous to the normalization competition and then to the current competition that is being played. So for me, they are better than before, and they still have a room to improve.
Okay. So what for you has informed this, development, if I should say, in terms of their level of officiating?
Basically, what I have watched, I have reviewed them myself. I think I've watched basically about 6 out of that, and then those that I call to find out the feedback. Like you just said in your intro, out of 72 games, you are only talking about 2 matches that coaches have a complaint. That alone should give you an informed judgment.
No, that is for this week. Last week we had about 5 of them complaining, sir.
Now, the basic thing you need to ask yourself is that, what are they complaining about? What is the relevance of their complaint relative to the game itself? For me, it's been so all these years. Referees have now moved from where they officiate for teams to appreciate it to what the law says they must do. And that is what is the problem now. Now, I normally ask a very simple question in the laws of the game. What is the difference between a foul and an infringement?
You can educate us.
Do we know? So if this basic question we are unable to answer, why are we saying that the referees of decisions are not right? You should be able to understand the decision of the referee, or you should be able to understand what the law says and what the referee is applying. Then you can say the referee's decision is not the best. Now, in the Bechem match, I was on the field. If a time is indicated as additional time, the only thing the referee cannot do is to reduce that time.
Okay.
He can play more. Because whatever happens within that additional time, he has to add it. So if you don't know, you don't know. You understand me?
Yeah.
So they have the right to complain, but their complaint must be justified, must be relevant. They must know. It's not when you are not happy. Look, if 2 coaches who are playing each other to write points on referees' decisions that they are not happy about. At the end of the day, you see the differences. You see the difference. The same game. They should comment on every decision of the referee, and then at the end of the day, compare the notes. You see the same. You see the discrepancy. You listen to commentary from journalists. At one stage, a journalist will say this. At the same match, another journalist will say different things. So there are a lot of vast difference of opinions in the applications of the laws of the game. Okay. The understanding of the individual who is giving that judgment.
Okay.
So I would appreciate going forward, teams must also write to the FA for the FA to allocate technical instructors to their teams so that they themselves will run through the law, their understanding of the laws and its application. When they get that things right, they will not be on the foot and complain.
But can't the Referees Association also take the initiative to help the clubs in this direction?
It is when you write to the Referees Association, and they will also allocate the technical instructor. It's not everybody who can teach the laws. That is one thing you must know. We have people trained by FIFA to be able to teach you the laws. You are a radio station. Get maybe 5 minutes of your airtime as always, and allocate it as the teaching of the laws of the game. Spectators will now be seated in their homes, listening to you, and when it happens, they can refer to the explanation given in your studios.
Okay,
and that will happen.
Okay, Mr. Tifo, for this particular season, do you agree with those who feel that the referees have been more empowered?
Referees are never empowered. Referees are already empowered by the laws of the game. It is only the referees who can enforce the laws of the game. Nobody, not even the court. That is how it is. So where is the empowerment? Is it because now 2 referees have been suspended because they falter?
Yeah.
In the same way, when a coach or a team manager also falter or a player falters, the same thing must be done. So it's not about empowerment. It's about trying. The FA is now enforcing its regulations and status. Maybe they were laxity before, so people were doing things the way they want. Now they are enforcing it. It is the same thing that is making referees to sit up. That is how it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, you said it earlier that for you they've done well, but there's still room for improvement. But can you, just before you go, can you give us the difference between a foul and an infringement?
Read about it. We don't feed you with a good spoon always. Read about it. When you have it, it becomes your property.
I think it would have been nice for my listeners to also just pick it up from you, as you said. You know, I picked it up when you said it earlier on, and I said that would be my last question for you.
No, read about it. This time I'm not give it free. And when you are learning, then now when you now understand.
Okay.
Because if I give it like that, it is very simple and cheap.
Okay, Mr. Tifu, thank you very much for your time with us.
Thank you, Dala.
Okay, all right. So there's definitely a difference between a foul and an infringement. We'll get to know that in a moment here on the show on Kickoff. I think we can go for a short break and come. Yeah. Yes, and then when we come back, we'll be doing more interviews, especially on the Kotoko House game that will be happening in the UK on the 6th of March. And then we have other issues also to be discussed. So stay tuned.
Hallelujah! All praise to the Most High. The 3rd edition of the National Gospel Music Awards is here. The Praise Edition. Come as believers, let's give thanks to the Almighty for a new year as we celebrate artists who deserve to be honored on the night. The night will be electrifying with performances from legendary gospel duo Tego Sisters, multiple award-winning Obapa Christie, Prophet Abiam Danso, all the way from the UK. Reverend Graceman. And many more. Rate is 20 cities in advance, 30 cities at the gate. Venue, Bantama Pentecost, the 18 Nete Temple. Date, 15 February 2020. Time is 6 p.m. Get your tickets at the Poku Trading Supermarket, Abebio Express, Dodge Fashion, Kumasi Mall. For ticket reservations, call 0242-828058. This event is brought to you by Global Expert Recovery Limited. Come and let's give thanks to the Most High, for He alone is worthy of our praise. The National Gospel Music Awards, rewarding excellence. Hallelujah! All praise to the Most High. The third edition of the National Gospel Music Awards is here. The praise edition. Come as believers, let's give thanks to the Almighty for a new year as we celebrate artists who deserve to be honored on the night. The night will be electrifying with performances from legendary gospel duo Tego Sisters, multiple award-winning Obapa Christie, Prophet Abiam Danso, all the way from the UK, Reverend Graceman, and many more. Rate is 20 cities in advance, 30 cities at the gate. Venue, Bantama Pentecost, the 18 Nete Temple. Date, 15 February 2020. Time is 6 p.m. Get your tickets at the Poku Trading Supermarket, Abebio Express, Dodge Fashion, Kumasi Mall. For ticket reservations, call 0242-828058. This event is brought to you by Global Expert Recovery Limited. Come and let's give thanks to the Most High, for He alone is worthy of our praise. The National Gospel Music Awards, rewarding excellence. Hallelujah! All praise to the Most High. The third edition of the National Gospel Music Awards is here. The praise edition. Come as believers, let's give thanks to the Almighty for a new year as we celebrate artists who deserve to be honored on the night. The night will be electrifying with performances from legendary gospel duo Tego Sisters, multiple award-winning Obapa Christie, Prophet Abiam Danso, all the way from the UK, Reverend Graceman, and many more. Rate is 20 cities in advance, 30 cities at the gate. Venue, Bantama Pentecost, the 18 Nete Temple. Date, 15 February 2020. Time is 6 p.m. Get your tickets at the Poku Trading Supermarket.
All right, so Kelvin, we're speaking to referee Tiara Tifu. He is the instructor, the national instructor for the Referees Association of Ghana. And you know that it's not only referee Thomas Alibo and his assistant John Nyavo who have been, in fact, they were the referees who were punished in the course of the week, but some referees have also been commended for their efforts. The referee who officiated a game between Kotoko and House of Folk, Emmanuel Eshen, and the referees committee are applauding him for this allowing for the penalty that House of Folk supporters have been complaining about, that the ball hit the hand of a Kumasi Asante Kotoko player. The referees committee studied the footage and concluded that referee Sean made a correct handball call within the confines of the law. That is for in denying House of Folk the penalty. Now, according to the committee, the laws House quoted is in absolute and still allows the referee to make a determination when the ball comes off any part of the body or the player makes a deliberate effort to handle the ball. Referee Nishan informed the committee that he gave the penalty because the House defender had his hand in an unnatural position above shoulder level before the ball hit his hand, which by law is deemed a foul. Now, referee Nishan also stated that the House claim for a penalty was not accurate because the ball came off the thigh of the Kotoko defender. And according to the referees committee, referee Nishan interpreted the laws of the game on the handball as he's required to do by law on both occasions. And so he's been commended for his efforts. But let's go on the lines. Let's speak to Mr. Samson Dean. He is the Okay, so we'll be doing an introduction in here. He is with African Origin Travel and Tour. He's the CEO, or should I even say president of African Origin Travel and Tour. And we are going to talk about the Kotoko Hasselfolk match in London. That is on the 6th of March. Mr. Samson Dean, Happy New Year to you, and thanks so much for joining us here on Love FM. Okay. Yes, sir. Very well. And yourself?
Very fine.
Okay. We called you in connection with the game that is coming up on the 6th of March in the UK, that's Kotoko and Hasselfolk. And we know that this match is being put together by HRH Sports Consultancy Limited. But we also know that African Origin Travel and Tour. Let me find out from you. Let me put it this way, rather. What role is African Origin Travel and Tour playing in this game that is coming up on the 6th of March in the UK?
Yeah, thank you so much. And good morning to you. As you said, it's true. Now they have only one independence celebration at the Barnard Stadium in London. The game is played on the 7th of March. At 3 p.m. I know that a lot of people in and around London, in and around the United Kingdom, are listening. The game is on the 7th and it's 5 p.m. The role of African Origin Travel and Sports is mainly four-star.
Okay.
We are the official ticketing and hospitality agent for the game. Only we have made it available across the country that people in Ghana to have the opportunity to secure game tickets for the game, as well as having hospitality packages secured. In our discussions there in London, we took into consideration that the game stadium in this game can only accommodate 6,700 spectators. Out of the 6,700, 200 is already secured for match and player agents. And UEFA.
Okay.
So 6,500 will be available for spectators. We thought of making sure that we allow the supporters from Ghana, that's the Kotoko Hasselfolk supporters, and the Moving Fund, to have the opportunity of the initial stage, so that if by the 18th of February we are not able to sell all these tickets, we just revert back to the Barnett Stadium ticketing platform.
Okay.
For the online play to begin. You know that our people living in Ghana must have a visa before they travel to the United States.
Sure.
So these tickets and the hospitality packages are automatically the official invitation of anyone who wishes to visit the UK to watch the game. In the visa and immigration platform, they have what we call tourism opportunity to tour. You are entitled to get 6 months visa. So from today, football fans can look to our offices across the country, in Kumasi, in Shomani, in Katsari. They can go there, get the ticket, get the package secured. One thing people to understand is that you can have a family living in the UK, maybe a sister, father, anybody. but this is not an invitation from a family member.
Okay.
It's an invitation being given by protocol and hospital and the organizers of which we are a part of. So the purpose of the travel will be mainly sports tourism to watch the game and other programs that we have secured for supporters.
Okay.
Monday, which is on the 9th of March, supporters will be taken to the Tottenham, where your friend, your colleague,
Prince
of Side.
Yeah.
He was there with us when we went on next discussion on how to take a contestant for.
Okay.
And the next day we take them to the Emirates, to the Stamford Bridge.
Okay.
So we have a 5-day program laid down for visitors to the game.
Okay. All right. We all know the track record of African origin when it comes to travel, so we are sure that, these fans will get the opportunity to go and watch their favorite teams play in that is London. And I hear that so overall, are we working towards the 1,000 match tickets from Ghana? And then also, how soon are these guys supposed to prepare or start processing for the match?
Yeah, thank you so much. On the 18th of February, we will know how many supporters and fans have secured tickets and packages.
Okay.
On the same day, we have to inform the banner setting the match organizing. A list will be made of the people living in the match, and that same will be submitted to the United Kingdom Visitors and Immigration for them to have to be aware of those who are eligible, who are on the list in Ghana. What we are doing is that from the 19th, or immediately you procure a package, we start filling your visa form. We start advising you on what you need to do with regards to the documentation.
Okay.
So we are hoping that latest on the 19th, after banners have been informed, the list has already been submitted to the UKVI. That application is 19th. Unfortunately for supporters, the UKVI are ready to process visa applications within 5 working days.
Oh, okay.
Within 5 working days. The company will call a flight visa. So we know that by the 25th of March, supporters will be having their visa. Even later, by the 28th of February, having their visa. So all these arrangements are taking place. And fortunately for supporters, we have decided that this program will not be very costly for them. We decided that because this is the first time such an event will be happening on the soil of the UK from an African country, we wanted to much better.
Okay.
So we have made a package so cheap that your visa fee, all the cost involved will cost you 15,000 Ghana, which I think is not that much for supporters to be able to.
Sure. Okay. All right, Mr. Samsudeen, we thank you very much, and I guess that we've got listeners listening to us, and so they know where to go. African Origin Travel and Tours Tourism. They have branches all around Ghana, and so you can also get there and make sure you're part of this event because it's going to be historic. We thank you for your time, and I know we'll be talking later. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. All right. So Samson Dean is the CEO of African Origin Travel and Tours. So, Kelvin, 1,000 tickets, Executive Director of African Origin Group. Okay. So, 1,000 tickets for people resident in Ghana to get a visa and go and watch this game. It's a historic game. Yesterday, earlier in the morning, the news came that the Minister for Youth and Sports had ordered a cancellation of the game for the two teams to play here in Kumasi. Remember that, the 6-match commemoration will be the 6-match
will be at the
will be celebrated here in Kumasi. So I think they wanted to crown it. But then I think after a lengthy meeting yesterday and the Minister put into perspective what the organizers have put in terms of money already gone and all that, back and forth. They decided that, look, we'll sanction this game for it to be played in the UK. And I'm sure it's going to be a very, very historic one.
Well, certainly it's going to be historic, and we've never seen House of Folk Kotoko play outside the shores of the country. We've seen the likes of Real Madrid, we've seen Al Ahly, Zamalek have their good times outside, and I think this would be a perfect opportunity for Ghanaians outside who haven't been watching these two clubs and yearning to see how their clubs are at the level of competition and then the level of play, the standard and quality of players with the two teams. And I think it's very, very good, and in bringing back the love, not just in Ghana and to all in the world, the diaspora. I think this is a very commendable thing from African origin and the other organizers. I think it's
RH Sports Consultants Limited, and it's being headed by Nanaya Amponsa, Far Rangers, together with Justin Ado, and he's our own colleague, former
I think it's really impressive, and these are some of the innovations that we need, and hopefully, just like during the days of Abed Mensah, where Kotoko House of Folk were going to South Africa to play in the Vodacom Challenge Cup.
Sure.
I think this is one of the steps into bringing some of those fond memories and then making things come alive and then coming into play. And I think it's really impressive that the ministry have just sided with the organizers and the clubs, yes, to make sure that this game comes off. And I thank Kotoko and House of Folk for also not trying to play their games in there and allowing.
No, they were just allowing the process to go through,
and allowing the process to go through without any of the teams trying to pull out of the game. This is so impressive.
Righteous wants to go to UK, so I think this is an opportunity for him to
15 times.
Go and have a look.
But he has this is not a family invitation.
No, it's not a family invitation. So it is coming from them. So the moment you get your money, Master, you are assured of getting to stepping foot in England.
Yes, 15,000
sharp. You know, be a big deal.
Then after the match, you come
after the match.
It's just for 5 days. It's a package. You go to Emirates, you go to Stamford Bridge, you go to the Wembley. Oh, come on, nice package. Okay, good. Let me speak to the special aid and spokesperson for the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Kofi Asare Brako. We all call him Abate. Abate, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us here.
Good morning, Dad.
Abate, I think you have to reposition yourself for me because we can't hear you.
Is it better now?
No, please.
Is it better now? Okay. Is it better?
No, let's try something and see. Hold on, let's try and see.
It's absolutely Shakespearean. The Shakespeare got it wrong. It wasn't King Lear. It's King Leo. The assist from the penalty kick recalls the great days of Johan Cruyff.
All right, we'll try and see whether we will get a better connection to that is Kofi Asare Brako. But Ima, so Kotoko House of Folk in the United Kingdom.
Dela, it's a good thing for Ghana football, especially when it will put Ghana on the global radar after suffering a lot in the hands of the number 12 expose.
From here, they should know that there are a lot of Ghanaians in New York as well, so maybe next year they will send.
Clearly, the others will come on board, and hopefully we can get the sheikhs and the crown princes of the Saudi Arabias take the game to the United Arab Emirates and all that. So clearly, we can't wait to have a feel of our football on the international level, especially with our club football. Kotoko and Hearts are known as the most glamorous.
Okay, let me just go on the lines and see whether we can get a better connection to Abate. Hello.
Dela?
Yes, okay, you're okay now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, yesterday when we woke up to the news that the Kotoko House match that was to be played in the UK had been cancelled by the Minister of Youth and Sports. But then later in the day, we also had news that the minister was meeting with the organisers of the game, and then finally they came to an agreement that the game should go on as scheduled in the UK. Tell me, what really might have necessitated that late decision from the ministry to have cancelled the game? And finally, how did we get to a compromise for this game to happen?
Well, first of all, thank you to your dear listeners this morning, and to your good self for this opportunity to explain to your listeners what actually happened yesterday. Prior to this arrangement, I think people got it wrong because under normal circumstances, when you are taking two big clubs like Kotoko and House of Folk to a foreign land to play in a friendly game, and of course, a game that is to actually celebrate Ghana's independence, the right things must be done And to us at the ministry, and of course to my boss, Honorable Isaac Kwame Esiama, the sector minister, he was not properly pre-informed. There was no documentation to that effect. There was no proposal. There was no modalities or any roadmap shown to him with regards to the great match coming up. Because much as we know that Kotoko and Hasselhoff are great clubs in Ghana, it has never happened in the history of Ghana football that both teams will be airlifted to another country to go and play a match over there. And so we're thinking that matches of this stature, it has to take a long time to plan and not just about a week or two, because today is on the 8th of February and we have less than a month to go for this match. So apparently we're thinking about not less than 3 months or 6 months preparation for this game to come on. And because there were no documents on the table of the Honorable Minister, there was no need to have gone public with the news that the match was coming off when the Minister had not consented or sanctioned any match to that effect. So when those broke out yesterday, the organizers found it prudent to come down immediately and see the GFA president and the minister. So yesterday, the GFA president, Mr. Ketokriku, in the company of his secretary, that is the general secretary himself, Mr. Prosper Harris-Nato, and the organizers, came to the office of the sector minister, Honorable Isaac Kwame Esiama, and after a brief interaction, close to about 2 hours, which I should say it was a very, very successful meeting that we had. It was concluded, and of course, Minister has sanctioned that the match should come off on the 7th of March this year. So the minister has actually agreed that the match should be played on the March of 7th, 2020, against the news that we heard in town that the match had been cancelled. It is coming off after, and of course, it has the full support of the sector minister, Honorable Isaac Kwame Esiama.
Okay. All right. So apart from the meeting and the minister stepping in to make sure that this game comes on, what role exactly is the Ministry of Youth and Sports also playing in the organization of the match on the 7th of March in the UK?
Basically, what actually we're doing will be just minimal, because for now, it is the GFA which is handling all these activities. What the minister can do, or what the minister can do in this process, is the fact that probably he might liaise with the embassy or the High Commission to help to agree on the number of people who might want to go and watch the match as Ghanaians, because Kotoko supporters, House supporters, usually follow their teams to places. In Ghana here, somebody can travel from Kumasi to Takwa on foot, despite the risk and everything. By road, despite the risk involved. So if it happens that the two teams should go and play international, then of course, the same people might want to go.
Okay.
And so it is agreeable. We should support by way of dealing with the diplomatic mission to help Ghana to also present a very wonderful support for their team.
Okay.
Far away in the UK.
Okay. Finally, before you go, we didn't talk about this, but I mean, we spoke sometime about a fortnight ago when those figures about the salaries of the various national team coaches came up, and the ministry from your end denied those reports and said that very soon you'll be coming in with the figures itself. Are we done, and can we know the figures now?
Not yet, sir. Hopefully by the end of February we should conclude on all arrangements for the national teams in terms of the coaches' payments and salaries and everything. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll come out with a better decision to see the way forward for Ghana football. Okay, but before you go, I just want to understand this, that are we saying that we don't as yet know the salary that we are going to pay the newly appointed Black Stars coach? Well, for now, we're still deliberating. He's not here in Ghana at the moment. He's far away in England, and of course, he's on a mission over there. It is possible he might come before the end of the month. So when he comes down, plans are far ahead to sit down with him properly and sign a contract with him, and then we'll look at the way forward in terms of the salaries and everything.
So it means that he's not signed a contract yet?
At the moment, we agreed that he was traveling. After last month, he was traveling. So when he comes down, everything is intact. Plans are far afoot. So when we just take off, then we are good to go.
Okay, so I mean, from next week, he will come back to Ghana before he can meet with the ministry and the GFA to know how much he'll be paid as a salary. Is that it?
Yes, on a full scale. That's it. On a full scale.
Okay, Kofi, thank you very much for your time, sir.
You're welcome, Bella.
Okay. All right. So that's Kofi Asare Bracco there for you. Gentlemen, let's quickly digest and take a look at what they've said in here. But, okay, just before you come in, let's do this. Away from the Kotoko House match, let's hear from the comments from Coach Karim Zito, for instance, when that one match suspension and 5,000 Ghana CD penalty was awarded against him.
I said it. Because when you look at my record, maybe new referee Guna, but something has been happening to us. And I'm because coaches who do talk. I did high and yaka, and Timisu near having a and I don't know the abusive language I mean you see. If what I said at the press is what they used to ban media, and I don't think they are fair. I don't see anything abusive. It is my problem, Amika. And then coaches do talk. I don't see anything wrong for me to say penalty. There's nothing wrong about it. At the end of the day, it will never change the result. If that will be the case there, and the point we shouldn't go to the press. We shouldn't go because why do you call us to press? To tell us our view about the game. Then if I go to say this without mentioning your name, without saying I don't have right to talk. We want to call a world tribunal means Samanoda. Because I don't see anything wrong for coach to defend his team. On the amount of days here, me coaching and all the 1 minute I say me feelings. And the coaches in the world they don't talk about the feelings against referees.
Coach Karim Zito, he says if even they'll take him to the World Tribunal, that's the Hague, it's not going to stop him from saying what he wants to say. They can't stop him, they can't drag him. I think he says that he's got the right to talk, to speak. That's how come we organize post-match press conferences for them to share their views about what they saw on the pitch. Okay, now let's hear from Coach Kwaku Danso of Bechem United after that game against Mediema.
It's not a hard luck. It was planned. It was planned. I must say that it was planned. We scored a beautiful goal. The ball hit under the crossbar, crosses the line, but the referee denied us. And the referee added 5 minutes. By then we had played 25 minutes, and then we added 5 minutes. After that, we played another 10 minutes in addition. The match commissioner can confess, and I'm asking the FA to get the video or to get a clip of this match and analyze the whole. So I would say that the defeat was planned. It was planned. It wasn't hard luck. Yes, they played very well. Everybody here saw what my players did. They played a nice game. And when players played this way, and you allow the home team to get advantage and score, then you are damping the spirit of the boys.
Coach, he said it was planned by who and who?
Oh, by everybody knows. Everybody knows them. Who is allowed to go? Who is allowed to go? And who added 5 minutes and we played 15 minutes in addition? Everybody knows them.
So your view on the officiating?
I won't talk.
But if you spoke it already anyway, referee could answer there for you. Diana Stars are playing House of Folk as by far the pick of the week tomorrow at the Doma Park. Bechem United are playing Abusuan Dons at Bechem, Ashanti Gold Liberty at Obuase. All these matches tomorrow. Dreams FC at Sante Kotoko at Dewood tomorrow. Elmina Sharks Brekum Chelsea tomorrow. Great Olympics 11 Wonders at Accra. That match will be played tomorrow. Karela United Mediema at the Takwa Akon Park that also tomorrow. Then today Ken Faisal are playing against Wafa here at Babaya Sports. Lagos Cities are playing against Interallies. Now let's hear from coach of Liberty Professionals, Coach David Oklu, ahead of the game against Ash Gold tomorrow.
First half, we did not come to the party. Second half, after the formation or system switch, we see that we dominated the whole game. You see from defense to midfield to attack, we dominated. Throughout the game, even though we are working on it, I think going forward, we will improve our goal scoring. Most of them, this is their first time even playing here. Okay. So it's really affected us. But you know my boys, they are always ready to give their all. And that's what they give. They give today, but fortunately we don't have to lose by 2-1.
Sorry about that. I think we got a wrong insert there. Sorry about the quality of that insert. But let's hear from Ignatius Osefo, so he's coach for 11 Wonders. Remember that they lost 3-0 at home to Interlights over the weekend. In the course of midweek, they lost by 3-0 to that is Interlights. Now they have to play against Great Olympics, and their coach Ignatius Osefo says they are going to improve on their performance.
So once you lose a home game, it becomes difficult to win the away game. We acknowledge that one. So we are approaching the game with all seriousness, and we want to go there and take maximum points because we cannot afford to lose 2 matches on a game, most especially to teams that are also in the relegation. So, but when you listen to the scoreline, you might think that we didn't play so very well. That's why we're so confident that we can go to the away game and so make the difference and win the game. We played very, very well, but in a game that one would say it's a team playing football and the other scoring. We made some mistakes.
Okay, all right. So Ignatius, I'll say for therefore, let's hear from coach Tony Loku. He is the head coach for Interlights after winning 3-0. Many expect that they are going to win their next game at home against Legon Cities today. Let's hear from coach Tony Loku.
I know our match against Lagos is not going to be an easy one, but they also won their match against the match that they played in our Casper Stadium. They won, and we also won in a way. But I believe ours was a moral booster for us going away to pick that 3 points and also scoring the margin of 3 goals, which has increased the spirit of the players as well. And I'm hopeful that come tomorrow against Lagos City, though it's not going to be easy, but I believe we will carry the 3 points. And as I speak, we have had an inclusion of a technical director by Neil Henley, who has also added value to our technical play, and his inputs has also yielded the results that we are getting. And I believe tomorrow is not going to be an easy goal, but we believe we'll pick the 3 points and make our fans happy.
All right, in Kumasi, First, I'll be seeking to get their first victory of the season when they come up against Wafa, West Africa Football Academy today. Now, Anthony Kwame, coach of the team, says that they are going to rely on the experience of some of their players, including Daniel Nieje.
But I think these boys are from the lower divisions, all of them from the first division, second division players. And I think that one is also putting us down. See, lack of experience and other things in the game. I think I have explained it several times to people that they lose concentration because of lack of that experience thing we're talking of. But I believe we're going to work it out again. I think they are trying. If I was a bet. Still, it doesn't carry results. I think we will work on it again. But at least we all know Niaje and what he can do. You get my point? We know how he can perform. We know at this level, I think he's playing. When I say he's trying, I mean he's trying to push the team ahead, bring the team together, and then get good for us. But
okay, so that's Anthony Loco there for you. So let's take a look at the matches. Let's start from Doma. Hearts of Folk, Adriana Stars.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracking game at the Nanaj Mambedu the second.
Adriana lost to Dwarfs.
Yeah.
And House of Folk drew at home to Ash Gold.
So coming into the game, Accra House of Folk, in our last 2 matches, we are unbeaten, scoring 1 in there. So clearly, it tells you that when we go on to the away end, our performances are good, our performances are measurable, but the difficulty of the match is going to be at the strong venue or the powers of Adriana Stars, especially when they are playing at home. Yeah, Mohammed has been on top form. He's scoring every now and then at the Nanaji Mamedu, the second stadium. It's all about the creativity in the House of Folk midfield, how they can combat it out with the likes of Elvis Opoku in the middle, and then at the back to Caleb Amankwa and his squad, Isaac Quine, how they can deal with the attack of Accra House of Folk. Because currently, Free, Kozi, and then SO, they are looking fantastic. It's going to be a difficult game. It's going to be a close one. For this time around, I see Yahya Mohammed not scoring at home. I think it's going to be a 0-0 draw, Dela.
Okay, all right, Kelvin. In Doma, we are trying to touch base in Doma to speak to the PRO of Aduana Stars, but we are having some difficulty in there. But I hear that the town is bracing up for this big game, one of the biggest since the season started.
Well, they're a very big game, and for all those who think that Aduana Stars, despite their woes, would not want to pick up this league, they should know that that is not it. They really want to lift this season's Ghana Premier League, and the reason why they've been getting those positive results back at home. The only problem is on the road. They find it very difficult to get maximum points. And you look at their results against the Oceanos, and it was certainly a bit terrible. House of Folk will be welcoming back Benjamin Afutu into their setup. I think he was a major deficiency in their game against Ashanti Gold. It gave a lot of difficulty for the likes of Emmanuel Nete to move forward, and the reason why they couldn't create enough goal scoring opportunities. But back with the Futu, I think that it's going to be a fierce encounter. But the only way Haas can salvage a point from this game is to stop Yaya Mohammed.
Okay, all right. Now let's quickly touch base in Doma. Let's speak to the PRO for that is Aduana Stars. Maestro, we love to call him. Katachi, good morning.
Good morning, Big Katachi.
How are you?
I'm doing good, and you too.
Very well, thank you. Share with us, I mean, how Mr. Aduana preparing for this game? How is the whole Doma Township bracing up for tomorrow's encounter against House of Folk, especially after losing to Dwarfs midweek?
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. In fact, we have a setback in terms of results far away last Wednesday at Caicos. The results which have dented our image. But hey, the boys are professional enough. You psych them up. That look, there's nothing you can do to revert that scoreline. So let's concentrate on House of Folk. Euphoria in town is very massive. All people from all walks of life, you see them displaying our flags, taxi drivers, masonry, and all people in town are clearly in a high ecstasy mode. That look, we have to go in out for the 3 points. The players themselves have stacked themselves up. I always made a point that playing against House of Folk and Kotoko, the players themselves stacked themselves up because they know what is at stake to beat House and what is at stake to beat Kotoko. Mura and Kamis, as I said, the return of Brighter J from injury, Samuel Bio and Fisher Dams have all added to the big morale in camp. And trust us, House of Folk, they will push stubborn here, but they will fall here at Nabwan Stadium.
Okay, all right. But is Yaya Mohammed fit for the game on Sunday?
Yeah, the terminator of goals, the terminator of Nabwan is 100% fit. He told us yesterday that, look, you should expect goals from him, not a goal.
Okay.
And what I like is that yesterday training, he led the players in psyching them up. He has played a lot of matches when he was at Kotoko against House of Folk. So he was leading the players in psyching the boys up. So Yaya Mohammed is poised up for action, and trust me, he will prove to the people of Ghana, the whole Ghana, that look, really, Nabwan is for him. Our stadium belongs to him.
Okay. All right. Maestro, thank you very much. Wish you all the best. A great game there. We'll try and see whether we'll touch base in Doma tomorrow.
I hope to see you guys.
Yeah, sure. Okay, all right, so that's Maestro there. Yaya Mohammed is promising not to score just one goal, but 2 goals for that is Aduana Stars tomorrow. He can do it. I mean,
well, yes, he has everything within his mind to do it, and he's a player who has power. He has a skill. He can score from outside the 18. Remember that bullet of a free kick he scored in their last home game. Even when things get difficult, he finds a way to make his ingenuity and his quality count for Aduana Stars. And just as Maestro said, Brighter J coming in, some Obio and the likes, they seem poised for action, and they are igniting some sort of spark and energy back into their team with these players coming back. What seems to be the problem for House of Folk is the ability to convert chances. Daniel Efriye Bani missing glorious opportunities in the final third. Kofi Koji cannot find the most prudent decision to make, and they always lose balls in there. A couple of people were asking why Benjamin Arthur sitting on the bench, but one, anytime he comes on, he's also more like a zero quantity added to the team. The only player who seems positive is the energy of Joseph Esso, the brilliance of Emmanuel Nete, and currently, hopefully, if Afutu comes, Boche should really exert his energy into play for Accra. But another weakness for the Phobians is at their right back, the captain. I don't know whether the contract issues put him off a bit. He seems to have some bit of deficiency at his end. Yes, Fatal. Okay. Uvuka has been excellent defensively and attacking, great energy, and a lot of people would have asked, why is it that Roberto Adusoa is performing better than Alassane Mohamed? So these are the things. But Haas have a very quality goalkeeper in Richard Atta, and I think that if Yaya can be stopped, it can only come from the defense and the goalkeeper. But I see Adriana with a slim victory.
Let's look at Kotoko and Dreams FC at the
very tough game last season. Ended 1-0 when they came back to complain with jerseys that Isaac Amwako had written his jersey with a pen with a pen, his jersey number with a pen, because and what have you? Well, all these are part of the game. They call it the shenanigans of the game. But for me, Dreams FC on away had a very good result. Beat Liberty. Do I say away, home, from away? Yes. So definitely playing at the Dawu was more like a home game for them, and they got the best results against Liberty Professionals. Now sitting in their comfort zone, playing their regular home game against Asante Kotoko. Difficult times for the Porcupines. The attack has been not the best. It hasn't been sharp, and Maxwell is still trying to pick up how he's going to blend the midfield.
The midfield has been strengthened with the coming in of Maxwell Bakwe and the rest, right?
Maxwell Bakwe is now back in the
03220 83596 83597. You can start calling on 03220 83596 83597.
Maxwell Bakwe is in there, but ask yourself the steel that you need in your midfield with brilliance from Mudasiru. He is off. Colin Samuel is not up to that. Kwame Adom trying to pull up his bit, but it's not getting there. But just as you said, the positivity of Maxwell Bakwe coming into the team with his brilliance, with his ability to dribble and create goal scoring opportunities should be very positive. But you ask yourself, who is going to feed on those chances that are going to be created? And the outside forwards, Emmanuel Jemfi and then Matthew Kelvin Andor, who have been included to the team, haven't been scoring. I think it's bad for the team. They should pick up their goal scoring.
All right. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Delasso.
Richard Opoku.
Yes, for Peace and Love Hospital.
Okay, let's hear you.
Okay, so Kotoko and Haas, now they have the opportunity to go and sell Ghana football outside. And no other country like UK. Please, I beg them, they should go and sell good football. They should know that they are going to create the image of Ghana football on the soils of their queen. And they shouldn't go and play that tinko ball that they've been playing nowadays. They should go and play good football. And to my darling club, Ashgold, we know Liberty has been very stubborn on their road so far as this league is concerned. And so we are not going to leave any stone unturned. Come tomorrow, we are going to beat them.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Richard Opoku, for calling 03220 83596 83597. But you heard Abate speak about the salaries of coach, that is Siki Akono. I'm a bit surprised about that they still don't have, they don't know how much they are going to pay the Black Stars coach.
How do you put pen to paper?
That is
when you don't know your salary.
I think we have to discuss this.
Some of these days they will say you have issues.
No, but okay. Hello. Good morning. Pato.
Hello, good morning.
Charlie, the match is happening in the UK.
Unless you help me.
Hey.
And for you, dear, I know you can do that for me. I trust you.
I can try and see.
I'll come. I'll come. I'm telling you.
Sure. Then you act bright. Can come where to it.
Can come no.
Kakra.
Is it Wabas?
Pato, let's hear you.
You should conjure magic for me. I'm telling you.
Okay, but Ratri Park on Friday, Valentine's Day.
I was listening to it over concerns and promise song that we are playing this morning. For this show, Masa, I'm not going to make it. I'm telling you, I'm coming live.
One Makrawayo, Masa. Okay, let's go ahead.
You were asking about the performance of our referee.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, honestly, referee Latif. The one who
Adari
and Ashwood. We got a clear penalty, and you guys, you're not thinking about it. Supposing it was Kotoko.
What makes it clear penalty? What makes it clear penalty?
Dela, it was clear penalty. Unless you are telling me that you are wearing a red spectacle. I'm telling you, Dela, it was a clear penalty. But this referee refused to. I award this penalty for House of Folk. But we are still on. We are going to win the league this summer because as some pastors have prophesied that House of Folk is going to win.
Okay.
When we do our homework, we are going to win. So the referees, they should stop that bias officiating. I've heard the appointment committee of the referee who ended up the Folk in Kotoko match. He's the best. He did well.
Yeah, he's been commended. Yeah. Okay.
So good morning to Mr. Sanacho of Smith and Mr. Francis Ade and
all right.
Mr.
Okay. Hello. Okay, 03220359683597. As we are away the calls, let's do some of the messages.
Well, there are some messages in here.
Sorry. Sorry. Hello, good morning.
Hello, De La Show.
Yes, sir.
My name is Zagidi Bogidi.
Bogidi.
Correct.
Bogidi Zagidi.
Correct.
Okay, let's hear you.
A great my friend for me.
Okay.
In fact, I'm not agree with Pato. The penalty he's talking about is a penalty. The referee is closer more than him, Pato.
Yeah.
So if the referee says it's penalty, it's penalty. Why, Pato? Back to the game. Please. Tomorrow we will score Dream FC. We will score them.
Okay.
We will score them well so that people will know that we are into. As for House of Folk, their match, they will play draw.
Okay. All right. Zagidi, thank you very much. Bye bye. Let me speak to political thinker. Hello, good morning, political. Yes, good morning.
Yeah, how's life?
I'm fine, thank you. Let's hear you.
Wow. I heard the coach saying that Mohammed is coming to score and has 2 goals.
Yes.
This guy, I want you to you are coming to score Accra House of Oak. Maybe the ball will turn to their own net, but not the net of Accra House of Oak, because we are going to beat them massively. So they should prepare and wait for it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Let me speak to Ernesto. Ernesto, good morning.
Delali, how are you?
Hey, you there?
Delali, long time.
Okay, let's hear you, bro.
But still, I have been listening to your program all the time.
Sure.
So that's why I'm not calling. Delali, did you watch the match between us and Gophers?
No.
So, your panelists didn't watch the match.
And so what do you want?
Because this morning I'm really disappointed with the program you are making.
Hey.
Why am I saying this? Because if you watch the match, you didn't talk about the penalty the referee disallowed. Because the keeper has made a mistake, then he handled the player. You, the referee, you are really at the spot. You didn't, award the penalty. But if House of Folk went to away, they get a penalty, they awarded. Why the referees are doing that? If you want to normalize football, we have to normalize the football world, because a long time we have been saying hope. Then the football has been started. Everything should have to be perfect.
Okay.
But I'm saying that we are going to Doma. I'm just praying that all the football lads should go to House of Folk, then you take a 3 points at the Doma. Thank you very much.
All right, Ernesto, thank you. Let me speak to Ebony. Ebony.
Hello.
Hello, Ebony.
Boss.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, my brother?
Oh, by God's grace, everything is cool for me, and you and your clue.
We are all very fine, thank you. You know that Friday we are having the Valentine's celebration at Ratri Park?
Yeah.
Ofreya Ponsa and Kim Promise?
Yeah.
Can you sing one Ofreya Ponsa song?
Mini watching for Yamua, let me say, Sikaneba, dear, what's a minko? Sikaneba, dear, what's a minko? Obediya maybe I didn't know. Otimakumo, Asam Krenyan Tokwa, no Maswako Rosa. Mikaka naturally a gentleman. Otimakumo,
Everybody, nice one. We are going to be there live. Okay, let's hear you.
Okay, tomorrow I have to go to play against Diana. That match is not easy for Hartford. So Coach Odum go to technical advise your ears or your nose, and then you Makasa Diana, but it goes to nothing. So Hartford fans praise the team for tomorrow match. I'm done.
Okay, everybody, thank you very much.
Okay.
Charlie, let's do some business.
The line is a message from 24 years. I am an ardent listener. Yes, as usual, I'm glued to myself listening to LuvSports. Well, as a unit, we are the best team in the world, but individually, there is no question mark. Liverpool, yes, you have to join soon. Please, leave me alone. 30 years, I'm okay. You struggled. I can't join you. Well, Getafe will beat them by 2-0. That is Real Madrid by Barcelona. As for Messi, he should remain in the La Liga, but maybe switch club to with team from Barcelona. Well, Richie, if you just said that there so far the performance has been good. I rate 85%. Well, as for Messi, he's already playing in the league, so I don't know why you are asking which league will be best for him. Well, the Ghana Premier League is getting more and more competitive and exciting, and I think the refs are also doing their part. 75% so far. That's another message from you in there. And then Parton is predicting a victory for Kumasi Asante Kotoko today. The game is tomorrow. He believes that Kotoko should win the game tomorrow. And then Fred is also predicting that it's really going to be a difficult game for House of Folk. But trust you me, they would beat Adriana by 2-0. But what is happening to Kinfesa? Please, today we are coming to the stadium. They should win the game for us. This has been a very difficult time for Kumasi Kinfesa, but hopefully they are going to get the very best from this game. Trust you me, this time around Nia J and the rest should score. But why is Michael Akufu not playing? Well, Akufu is still waiting for his international transfer certificate to play. But before we get up, yes, a happy super duper birthday to the one and only hottest Okomankra. That is Alex Kobe Stone. His birthday is today? Yes.
Okay, so happy birthday to Kobe Stone.
And you know what Kankan said?
No.
That all the liquid will be shot in Accra.
What sort of liquid is that? Water?
I'm sure.
Okay, so it's a lot of
happy birthday, brother.
Kobe Stone, happy birthday to you, and thank you very much for making the show another success. Big thank you to Emmanuel, to Fortuna, to you, Kelvin Oswansa, support from Desmond, the records man, and Bismarck. He's in charge of our social media handle, and also to you, Righteous, you're a teacher at Gloryville School, Kote, as well as Andy is also a teacher at St. Louis Jubilee School. My name is Delali Atiasi. We'll cross over to J 99.7 to bring you news file. But don't forget that we are meeting, God willing, on the 14th of February at the Ratri Park, Kumasi, for a love affair.
There's a call on the president